We are a relatively new gang. We established in 1989 after the establishment of the Red Dog Mine. We are centered in Red Dog, a port on the northeast part of Alaska. We were created after the mining companies started dumping their waste from the lead and zinc into the waterways and streams of Red Dog. The mining led to the poisoning of waterways and erosion of precious soils used for raising cattle and plant crops in the summer months. The natives of Red Dog were against it from the start and started to rally. A man known to the locals as Wiley Pete led the revolution against the mine. This was ironic because Wiley was the great-grandson of one of the first gold miners in the mid-1800s. Wiley Pete has lived in Red Dog since the age of 17, when he left his home in Anchorage, Alaska, to find peace and solidarity. Wiley ended up becoming our first leader of the revolution and even today remains our leader.
The majority of the population of Red Dog has lived there their entire lives and generations before. They weren't about to let the mining elitists take over. Since the population of Red Dog is roughly 300, recruitment was fairly difficult. The original members of the Red Dog crew took to the street and by word of mouth started to gain membership. This recruitment method swept across Red Dog and spilled over into surrounding cities such as Kivalina and Noatak. It had also been affected by the mining pollution. The original members welcomed these recruits by the ritualistic initiation of having the recruits club a seal and then eating the raw flesh in the presence of the OG members. The recruits would then receive a leather vest made from the hide of the seal. Finally, in the initiation process, the recruits would receive a red dog tattooed with the blood of the seal, mixed with a black Indian ink to intertwine them with their sole purpose: to save Red Dog and its inhabitants. Ruthless, they now stood a chance with the mining companies. They allied with other gangs such as the Iceberg Clique and the Blackwoods Mafia, both gangs with sets near Red Dog. We are involved in, among other things, the acts of making territory with their infamous Red Dog emblem on cruise ships, supply ships, cargo ships, and buildings held by the mining company. Other acts we are involved in is pirating ships carrying ore or supplies as a source of funding, the heinously dismembering the captain, letting the elitists know we are here and we are watching.
Though, like any, our heroic fight isn't without rebellion. Gangs who have been receiving money from the mining companies in exchange for protection fought with us nearly every week. Other members of the Red Dog community who have found work with the mining companies also did not like our presence and were against our revolution. Our rival gangs normally consisted of sets from larger gangs like the 5150 Crips and a newer gang, the Celtic Shamrocks, whose name would suggest they were full of teenage girls with matching clover tattoos. The Crips were the most notable and the ones we fought with the most. Just this past week, they engaged us in what would turn out to be a bloodbath. We sent in our 6 best fighters and skaters. The 3 captains who led the charge were appointed by Wiley Pete himself. They were head of day-to-day operations for the crew and appointed leaders for the different sets. They were known as Tyler, the artist Burton, known for his innate ability to draw murals with his opponent's blood. Next was Austin, silent but deadly Vogelsong, commonly just known as Silent. He got his nickname from his quiet demeanor and his love of watching his opponent's life slowly drain from their body. Last was Hunter, the mailman Williams, notorious for symbolically hacking off his opponent's arm with a mining pickaxe, tattooing it with a Red Dog emblem, and sending it to their family, the only body part the police would ever be able to locate. Whoever standing at the end of the match would be awarded a rank of their choice from the losing game. This was a common practice in Alaska due to the difficulty of obtaining assault rifles and handguns and the lack of efficiency hunting rifles produced. The rinks were used as a way to mark turf for the gangs and were exchanged like playing cards.
There is no end in sight for the crew. The mining companies have only expanded. Our pirating of ships and disposal of their members has only made the mining companies bring in replacements and has not slowed down production at all. They will continue to erode and pollute our waterways until they are finished mining unless we are able to elect one of our members to the board of the mining company to gain a legal say. We hope one day to finish our murderous rampage and end the mining companies.
See it all.